I just went through a huge stack of physical mail that has been plaguing my printer for a long time, just being a catch all. Some letters were back from like 2021. So getting through that list was very rewarding and satisfying. Unfortunately, my mail woes continue into the digital realm where my email inboxes are flooded. And I wanted to make a video today trying to automate the deletion of certain things as well as rework my Gmail to help prevent this from happening again. Because every few months, I swear, I get thousands and thousands of new emails. I have to spend hours. It's just a mess and it's not sustainable. So let's get into it.
All right. So here is my Gmail. As you can tell, I have 2,800 emails in my inbox, which seems like a lot, but I started at 5,200 here. And if we look down here at my promotions in these categories, this had about 18,000. Social had another however many thousand. If we go down to my trash can, this is what I manually deleted yesterday. I bulk deleted too, but almost 24,000 emails right here. So like I said, this is not sustainable. And what I want to do is basically take any promotion or any social update that is 3 months or older and in these two categories and just move them to my trash. Now, I had hoped that there was something built in, like how Outlook has rules and things like that, but that's unfortunately not the case. So, what I'm going to do, and I kind of already started doing it, is I created an app script that I was calling Gmail inbox scrubbing. I made this function. Basically, what this does is it allows you as a Google user to write code to help manipulate your Google products, your suite of products. So I've used this for Google Sheets. You can use it for a lot of different things. And since Gmail falls under that category, so long as you can authorize and accept it, it will work. So looking here, we have this function that I'm just calling auto delete old emails. I'm creating these categories that I want to delete. And basically, if we look here, the search query, I'm basically going to take any of the social categories and before a certain date, being 3 months, and then send them to the trash. And I'm also going to console log it here because when I execute, I'll be able to see what I have. And why I think this is going to be nice is I can set up sort of like a cron job. They'll call it a trigger here that I can have it run whenever I want on its own. So I'm going to run it like once a week. And I figured, every Sunday at like 1 a.m., if I run and I delete so many emails, those inboxes are not going to be as flooded. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to keep this all simple and only do this. But off camera, I'm going to also be adding really sort of niche specific emails that I do kind of want to hold on to for a while, but I'm good to delete. So, for instance, USPS sends me emails about what mail I can expect. And I like to have that, but after 3 months, I mean, who really cares if I keep that? So, the only thing I have to be careful of with here is like any of these queries, which, if I were to do this category social, so if you were to just search here, this basically returns 611 emails because that's what's in here. And then like I could do older than 1 year. My script actually uses specific dates, but I could also do this. But basically I can see since I manually deleted a lot of these, I kept 3 of these. So anything I write in the script can test. So yeah, basically I created these categories that I want. I'm using the current date and going back 3 months and formatting it. I'm having a listed counter just so I can console log it. And then basically I'm doing a basic loop where for each email, for each one of these categories, so this is an array of 2 different things, I'm going to make a search, add it to this Gmail app search, which is built in as part of this app script, set it to this threads, and then basically iterate through each thread, a thread being like an email that gets returned, and then move it to the trash. And what's nice about moving it to the trash as compared to deleting it completely right away is if I make a mistake, my trash can will auto delete things after it's been in there for 30 days. So if I accidentally delete anything important, I can always withdraw it. So that's how this works. Also, I wrote, and I'm going to link this down below. I created a little repository basically explaining how to do this. This basically can walk you through everything. And I have my code here that you can copy and paste and manipulate any way you want. So feel free to use it as you see fit. Okay, I'm going to get ready to actually run the script for the first time manually. Just to kind of show on this app script, basically I created this new project here and I changed accounts just so some of my other work scripts aren't showing here. But basically I have this Gmail inbox scrubbing, and this is where I created my code. I saved it, and now that I'm ready to run it, it's going to need my authorization. So let's click run. Authorization required. This project requires your permission to access your data. So let's review them. I'm going to select my Gmail account, and basically it's saying, hey, this might not be safe. This is dealing with your sensitive info. We're manually deleting your emails. So until we verify this app, you shouldn't use it. So if we go to the advanced section, continue only if you understand the risks and trust the developer. Well, I developed it. So go to Gmail inbox scrubbing. Gmail inbox scrubbing wants to access your account. Again, I wrote this. I can be able to basically handle this. Make sure you trust. I'm going to allow it. Execution started now. I just got an email. Gmail scrub was granted access. Okay, so now let's see. All right, so I stopped running it because it was taking a while, and then I ran it through the debugger. Everything was working fine. It was just taking a while. Obviously, for each thread, this is like a for loop, and instead it's actually like a nested for loop, but obviously there's only 2 categories, so it's not terrible. I stepped through the code. Basically, if you run this debugger, you can put breakpoints and basically step through your code just like you would with any IDE or editor. But basically, yeah, if you look, I guess I just deleted that, but I deleted like 162 emails. So if I were to go back to here, we can see social, which was I think like 611 or something, or how many was it? It was a bit. Got deleted. If we go to our trash, now it looks like 23,902. Let me look into this. It just took a little bit for it to update, but basically if we go back to the trash now, you can see the inbox now has from 23,920 or something like that to over 2,400. So about 500 something emails got deleted with that run. So that works. It's great. And I obviously off camera, I'm going to continue to add to my script to make it more specific to my needs. I mentioned the USPS thing. Another thing that I thought would be worth mentioning is LinkedIn sends me like little messages about new job opportunities, and while those are nice to have, and I I don't want to unsubscribe from them, it'd be nice just to delete those after a few months, since those job postings aren't going to be really worth much, 3 months down the line. So that works. Now the only thing we have left is to create the triggers, or think of them sort of like a cron job. So if I go here to triggers, and down in the bottom right, which my camera's in the way, but it just says, you can't really see that, but it just says add trigger. Click that, and now basically your function, any kind of function that you create, whatever you name it, it's going to show up in this list. But auto delete old emails, it's going to run on the head branch. You can have it run like after a certain time or a certain date specifically. I'm gonna do time driven. I don't need it to run every hour. It can be like a week timer. So we'll do like every Sunday from midnight to 1 a.m. That's fine. That's usually a lot of our cron jobs are running between, midnight, 3 a.m., stuff like that, where it's just probably a good practice to get into. Failure notification setting. So basically, if this script tries to run and something fails, how does it notify you? I'm going to do it weekly. I don't think that really matters too much. And then we will save. So now we can see it's on the head deployment, time-based, obviously emails, and this will show, it's Wednesday right now, so I'll probably check in it on Monday and see if it works. A thing I was thinking about doing with this specific script, which seems a bit counterintuitive now that I think about it, but I can also probably send emails using this code as well. So I could always end up sending an email to my inbox every Monday morning saying, scrubbed all these emails, did this, did that, kind of give me a progress report. I did that for something similar for a mobile app that we made for a new user sign up. So I think once a week, we would show all the rewards users that signed in and things like that. So this is kind of a fun little environment to play around with stuff. And obviously you are dealing with your own data, but it's kind of a fun way to manipulate and work with your own data without having to do the painstaking process of trying to configure specific APIs and things like that. Like this is pretty built in. So if you found this interesting, like I said, I'm going to link, I just updated this repository, but if you found this interesting or found this helpful, or you have any suggestions, I'd like to hear from you. I appreciate a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate that as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good one.